All right, let's talk about something huge in the world of AI right now. We've got this incredibly powerful generative AI, right? But how do you actually control it? How do you make sure it's safe, healthful, and, actually aligns with what you want it to do? Today, we're going to dive into exactly that by looking at Amazon Bedrock Guardrails. So think about it like this. A large language model is kind of like a super high-performance car. It's ridiculously fast, it's capable of amazing things, but without a good driver and, maybe more importantly, clear lines on the road, it can swerve off and end up somewhere you really don't want it to be. So the big question is, how do you build those safety barriers?
Before we get to the solution, let's first get a real handle on the problem. Because without the right controls, an AI can take some pretty, dangerous detours.
And this slide really breaks down what can go wrong. An AI might spit out biased or just plain harmful content. It could use offensive language, or worse, leak sensitive information like someone's email address. And then there's the whole hallucination thing, where it just makes stuff up but states it like it's a fact. It could even be tricked by users through something called prompt attacks to get around its own rules. And look, these aren't just things that could happen. They're real challenges that developers are facing every single day.
And this is exactly where the idea of a digital guardrail comes into the picture. It's the safety system that's designed to keep that super fast AI car firmly on the road. So here's the core concept. Just like a guardrail on the highway physically stops a car from going off a cliff, a Bedrock guardrail checks both what a user asks the model and what the model wants to say back. It's basically a safety filter on both ends of the conversation, making sure that what actually comes out is safe and appropriate for your users. And this chart just perfectly lays out the before and after. On the left, you've got all those scary risks we just talked about. But on the right, you see the specific fixes that guardrails offer. Worried about your AI going off brand? Bam, you can block those topics. Concerned about harmful content? You've got filters for that. And for those data leaks and system hacks? Well, you've got tools to mask personal info and spot those prompt attacks. It's a direct solution for every single problem.
Okay, so we get what guardrails are and why they are so crucial. But how do you actually go about building these safety policies? Let's break down the approach.
It really boils down to these four main pillars. First, you get to decide what topics are completely off limits. Second, you set up your filters for all that generally harmful stuff. Third, you define exactly what you consider to be sensitive information that needs protecting. And finally, you can even add a check to see if the AI is making things up. It's a really clear, systematic way to build a comprehensive safety net.
And within each of those pillars, you've got this really powerful customization toolkit. For denied topics, you can literally tell your AI, hey, you are not a financial advisor, so you are not allowed to give investment advice. For word filters, you can block specific words or profanity. For personal info, or PII, you can tell it to automatically find and either hide or completely block things like email addresses. It's all about giving you that fine-grained control over how your model behaves.
Now, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually performs out in the real world. We're going to look at two examples from a hands-on demo.
Okay, here's test number 1. A user comes in and asks for something we've specifically defined as a denied topic, investment advice. So what happens?
Boom! The guardrail kicks in, just like it's supposed to. Instead of the AI trying to answer and maybe giving really bad or even dangerous advice, the system just stops it cold, and it gives that custom message that we configured beforehand. The so what here is huge. This isn't just about being polite. It's about protecting your brand, managing legal risks, and making sure the AI stays exactly where it's supposed to. It worked perfectly.
All right, on to our second test. This time, the user includes a piece of personally identifiable information, an email address, right in the middle of their prompt. This is a classic data privacy nightmare waiting to happen.
And look at this. This is so cool. The guardrail didn't just block the whole response. It was smart enough to identify just the email address and automatically mask it. So the AI could still do its job, but the user's private info was protected. This shows the real power here. It's not just a sledgehammer, it's a surgical tool, making these smart, nuanced decisions that keep things working while also keeping users safe.
So let's pull this all together. What does this all mean for the future of how we build things with AI?
At the end of the day, tools like guardrails are what move us from just using powerful AI to using it responsibly. They give you the framework to customize safety, to make the AI behave the way you need it to, and to build apps that people can actually trust. It's all about taking back control of the technology.
And that leads us with a final thought to chew on. We're building guardrails for the challenges we see today, harmful content, data privacy, things like that. But as these models get exponentially more powerful, what are the risks we can't even see yet? What's going to be the next essential guardrail we need to invent to make sure AI keeps serving us safely and effectively?